This is a journey from
Wimbledon to Barking.
This journey stops at
Wimbledon Park, Southfields, East Putney, Putney Bridge, Parsons Green, Fulham Broadway, West Brompton, Earl's Court, Gloucester Road, South Kensington, Sloane Square, Victoria, St James's Park, Westminster, Embankment, Temple, Blackfriars, Mansion House, Cannon Street, Monument, Tower Hill, Aldgate East, Whitechapel, Stepney Green, Mile End, Bow Road, Bromley-by-Bow, West Ham, Plaistow, Upton Park, East Ham and Barking. Please be aware, some contents in this video may be loud. We're now approaching Wimbledon Park. You can find Wimbledon Tennis Golf Club here.
Have a look over there, you'll just see the top of it all. See the shot?
Yep.
It's the best view you're going to get.
We're now approaching Southfields. We're now approaching East Putney. This is the last section where National Rail's South Western Railway will run on London Underground tracks. From this station, services are diverted towards Clapham Junction.
District Line service update from Hamilton Service Control. Aside from the published ground engineering works, the minor delays of the Metropolitan Line. Due more back in Hampshire, minor delays of the Big Dilly Line to Upton down on Rayners Lane both due to train cancellations. Good service on all other lines. End of message.
We're now approaching Putney Bridge. We're now approaching Parsons Green. We're now approaching Fulham Broadway. From this station, you can find the Fulham Football Stadium. Here, the train switches into automatic train operation. This is known as CBTC. This is a Wi-Fi based signalling system and is also used on the Elizabeth line between Paddington, Stratford and Abbey Wood.
Line service to Barking can be held on the platform for a short time before the departure Barking service. We're now approaching West Brompton. Change here for National Rail, Southern and London Overground. It's also easier here to change for bus services to Olympia London when the Olympia branch is closed. We're now approaching Earl's Court. Change here for District Line services towards Richmond, Ealing Broadway, Kensington Olympia and Edgware Road. Also change here for Piccadilly Line services. These services run towards Heathrow, Uxbridge and Cockfosters.
We have the platform short time for departure, District Line service to Barking, all stations to Barking. Let's get out here, right? A few more people around, aren't there, than before?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
We're now approaching Gloucester Road, where we join the Circle Line.
If you don't mind me asking, so what's with, looks like something was removed from here.
Used to be twin tracks. So you used to have twin tracks going through into Gloucester Road. So Circle and District would be in one line each, and then you'd come into South Kent, which is why you got a disused platform on the left and a disused platform on the right when you're coming in on the westbound. So many, many years ago, this used to be one Circle Line track, one District Line track, and then the join just beyond South Kent.
Wow, okay.
But maintenance-wise, they took it all out. It's easier to have one track to maintain.
Of course, yeah.
So now we join the circle at the junction coming into Gloucester Road. That's your disused station on the left, or platform.
We're now approaching South Kensington. Change again for the Piccadilly line.
There would have been 2 tracks.
South Kensington is known to have a few museums too.
Disused platform over the far side.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And then here they would have come into one. Like we do at Gloucester Road. So they would have then come into one here, then back onto single track into the tunnel.
This is impressive.
It was, but they've taken it all out.
Do you know what year they did that?
No idea. Because now you've got a lot of hassle with overcrowding at South Kent.
Ah yes.
And that's because they put everything on that island platform in the middle. But this was done, I don't know, probably 40, 50 years ago. Don't know, you'd have to look it up. A long time ago. I don't think anyone on the job has been driving when that was in use. So that's been at least 40 or 50 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And there's your flood barrier.
Ah yes, they've got some of those at Embankment, don't they? But I think those have been decommissioned.
This is all decommissioned as well. This was an old barrier that used to come down many years ago.
Oh.
Just this steel thing here. You know, there's a river running through Sloane Square at the top.
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
actually saw a video on YouTube Shorts. It was to do with the preservation of something in the early London days. But what I might do is I might throw in some facts here and there, like for example that flood barrier. I might pop that.
Well, I'm guessing you let it most of the noise on here.
Sorry?
You let it most of the noise on here, won't you?
There you go.
The sound, you let it most of the sound.
Yeah.
We're now approaching Sloane Square.
There's your river.
Oh yes, that's the Green Bridge there.
So this is where the old ATO used to start before they expanded it.
Oh yes,
Sloane
of course,
Square.
yeah.
There we used to run from here up to Stepney Green.
Yep. And then they extended it to Upton.
Fulham Broadway and Upton, and then Upton to Westminster.
We're now approaching Victoria. Change here for the Victoria line towards Brixton and Walthamstow Central. Change here for National Rail, Thameslink, Southern, South Eastern and Gatwick Express services. You can also find Victoria Coach Station.
I'm not sure if this is the station, but I believe there's one station, I think it might be Victoria, where the train accelerates the fast, extremely fast.
I'm not sure if it is. Find out in a sec.
We're now approaching St James's Park. We're now approaching the well-known station Westminster. You can interchange for the Jubilee line. Exit here for riverboat services from Westminster Pier. You can also find landmarks such as Big Ben. We're now approaching Embankment. Change here for the Bakerloo and Northern lines. Also change here for National Rail South Eastern services from Charing Cross. Exit for riverboat services from Embankment Pier and is within walking distance. We're now approaching Temple.
District line information to the customer service update from Hammersmith. Apart from the published line engineering works, there are minor delays on the Metropolitan line between Moorpark and Amersham, minor delays on the Piccadilly line between Upton and Weymouth Lane, so due to train cancellations. Good service on all other lines. End of message.
We're now approaching Blackfriars. Change here for National Rail, Thameslink and South Eastern services, and riverboat services from Blackfriars Pier.
Disused Bay Road.
Fair enough.
We're now approaching Mansion House.
They were concerned about the length of the new stock fitting in there, and they made Tower Hill bi-directional now siding. So, in effect, you can go in both ways, and we can also reverse now at Tower Hill, so we can do an east to west. Where before we couldn't. So they got rid of that, and they put a couple more moves in at Tower Hill. So it gives them a little bit more flexibility.
Fair enough. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's a balance between maintenance and removing moves and flexibility, but it comes down to cost. If they can get rid of it, so they've got rid of it.
Of course, yeah.
We're now approaching Cannon Street. Change here for National Rail, Thameslink and South Eastern services. We're now approaching Monument. Change here for the Central, Northern and Waterloo and City lines and DLR from Bank Station.
Station on your left here.
What station may that be?
I can't remember the name of it. Just so close to Tower Hill.
We're now approaching Tower Hill. Interchange here for the DLR at Tower Gateway Station and National Rail C2C from Fenchurch Street.
So is this the new junction or the original one?
There is new because there used to be fixed reds about in line with where you're sitting there, and they took those out, put the points in ahead so you can enter and exit Tower Hill effectively both directions now. And if they really want to, they can put a train in Tower Hill and you can overtake it, run down either that side or this side of the platform, depending where they put the train. And if there's a problem ahead, they can reverse me off the platform and send me back.
Okay.
Which gets rid of the problem with Mansion House going, being a bay road. So in effect, this is a bay road and more now.
Yeah.
And the Met also can unofficially come down here if they have to, but only as far as Tower Hill.
Is that for 8 carriages?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know if I've done it yet, but that's the theory behind it. So if there's a problem up there and they need to get one of their trains out of the way, they can in theory run it down as far as Tower Hill. But whether they've actually done that yet or not, I'm not sure. There's the Met there.
Yep. I'd assume that these tracks at some point would have connected to this main part here.
So again?
I'd assume those tracks at some point would have connected to this part of the curve here, or have they, you know?
They have for the circle, and the circle goes round there. This is purely our own, unless it's a Hammersmith City, which can also run along this bit.
Oh yes,
And then the circle joins up round, well, Hammersmith City, sorry, I should say, joins up round here. Normally the circle would turn off and go around earlier, but they can run it through here if there's problems. And then it goes up to Barking instead. The thing is, nowadays you have no control.
Yeah.
I mean, my train here says Barking Bay, so that's where it should go. But if they change that, I don't have any control.
We're now approaching Aldgate East, where we join the Hammersmith and City line.
Control over where this train is going to go now. Oh, it's all electronic, isn't it? I can stop it though, of course.
So you can really see the gradient increase from here.
Yeah, the old East, we used to see where the old East London line tunnel used to be, we used to be able to connect between the railway and East London. We used to get the stop
yes.
down there.
The
That's all been disused now, disconnected as well.
A stop, isn't it?
I think it was something like that, I can't remember. They were still doing it when I was here, but we never saw them. It was always stopped, it was always done at night by the night crews, so they never did it during the day.
Fair enough.
That's it up there on the right.
Ah yes, I
Another
see.
disused station here. That's where you used to go down to the East London line and connect down there.
We're now approaching Whitechapel. Change here for the Elizabeth line and London Overground services. The Elizabeth line opened in 2022 and runs between Abbey Wood, Shenfield, Heathrow and Reading. The London Overground used to be part of the subsurface lines. This is known as the East London line.
Well, the thing is, they couldn't theoretically run the overground, you know, above it, because then again it was claimed from the East London line.
Yeah, the East London line was always below it, so they just connected to it.
Fair enough.
I've never been down there. I actually haven't been down to the station, so I don't know what they look like. But they took a long time to build. Because these used to be island platforms years ago at Whitechapel.
You know what? I remember that. I know Whitechapel has been refurbished. I just can't picture what the old Whitechapel would have looked like. I do know they had a temporary entrance as well for a few years as well.
You've been to Clapham Common on the northern.
I have.
You know that island platform.
Angel.
Angel is another one, is it? Okay.
Angel,
Clapham anyway.
Angel
that was like
used to
two
be-
Clapham stations,
Yeah.
two island platforms.
Yeah.
So we had 4 tracks going through it. And then they took the 2 middle out and joined it together, so it was one big island platform.
Oh. They did that with Bank as well, didn't they?
Don't know about the Northern Line.
So what?
Remember.
So what they've done is about 2 years ago they closed down the station and they refurbished. Well, what they did was they closed off the old island platform, they expanded it, and then they made a new southbound platform towards Morden.
So more capacity
That's right. Yep.
and safer in theory.
And then you've got a new travelator which takes you to the central line.
We're now approaching Stepney Green. Did you know Stepney Green has a London Overground station?
Where the old ATO used to finish.
However, these are not classified as an interchange due to their distance.
The design of this station is very... It doesn't feel as if it correlates with anything, it just feels as if they've put some bricks here.
It's a hole, basically.
Fair enough.
You don't get to see it. They come with like all the shit. That's the same as the done at Mile End as well. They could be really nice.
No,
I mean,
of course.
this is just a square box now.
Of course, yeah.
But it does have the features, but they've just covered them all up.
Do you know, so do they have like a water fountain or something running over Stepney Green? Because I saw some...
Sure about that. I never get out on the stations here. I've got no idea what's above them.
There.
I've come through here hundreds and thousands of times, but I would not come up here on my days off to go out of stations. I don't know what's out here at all. Apart from parking where we have mirror reliefs, Upminster, and occasionally where we might get turned, like maybe Plaistow or something like that. But
Yeah.
even then, we don't go to East, we don't really go out the stations. So there could be a football ground up here and I wouldn't really know about it.
Other than, of course, West Ham. That's
It's always busy.
Going quite
This
fast.
little bit here, this little island that we're just passing. Just there. That little bit there, that's the pumping station.
You know what? You know, just seeing this section of track has made me realise.
We're now approaching Mile End. Change here for the Central Line.
It's honestly interesting.
And here's all your vaulted ceilings again.
These services run towards Ealing Broadway, West Ruislip, Epping, Hainault and Woodford.
Those vaulted ceilings when I started went all the way through, and then they refurbished this about 20 years ago. And now I can stand out and touch that, where it used to be, where the gold vaulted ceilings like that.
So that used to go all across?
Yeah, it's got. Still progress apparently. So you come out here, put me dirty shitty fingers all over that, and that's what they used to be like. I find this claustrophobic now.
No, I don't
And I can touch it.
Yeah.
There you go. Someone's great idea to hide all the rails and cables and stuff like that, but I think it's kind of ruined the station. It's far too low now.
No, of course. Because you see, the thing is with hiding cables, in the tunnels you see the cables, don't you? When you're between the stations you see the cables. So, but no, it's interesting to think about it.
It is, it's a shame, because London is limited for space, so why would you lower the ceiling so much that you feel claustrophobic?
Of course.
But I'm sure they'll change.
We're now approaching Bow Road. Interchange here for the DLR from Bow Church.
So would you say this station is a good...
The DLR runs between Stratford and Canary Wharf.
Yes, the vaulted ceiling.
However, during peak hours, runs between Stratford and Lewisham.
I agree. It's nicely done, they just need to keep it tidy again, you know, it's tired, it needs painting, it needs tidying up.
Goodness. Squeak.
Yeah, I they used to be they're a bit noisy now, the brakes on these things. There we go, up into the open section again.
Looking at this station, it looks as if C2C might have stopped here some time back.
Yeah, they did. We got a few stations like that.
We're now approaching Bromley-by-Bow.
Plaistow's one of them. Upton Park.
East Town.
East Town, yeah.
I believe many years ago that the old C2C or British Rail, whatever it was back then, used to stop at some of these stations. And then they decided to run an express through and stop at Barking and Upminster District Line or whatever it was back then.
Yeah.
They closed off the platforms and just left it a tube to pick up the passengers. Which kind of makes sense, but that's why I said to you earlier on, we're long enough here to take S8s all through here, all the way to Upminster.
Of course.
But the tunnel section's a bit more problematic, and they didn't spend the money extending them, so we've got S7s.
We're now approaching West Ham. Change here for the Jubilee line. This line runs between Stratford and Stanmore. The DLR also stops here and runs between Stratford International and Woolwich Arsenal, however occasionally runs to Beckton.
Years ago.
Say that again.
That's new. We never, C2C never used to stop at West Ham.
Oh.
Only built it about 15-20 years ago.
Wow.
Might have been tied up with part of the Olympics, possibly.
That'd make sense, you know.
But yeah, when I started, that station was never here. C2C went all the way through, or British Rail went all the way through.
Have you seen they're building some new buildings here?
Yeah, and up here too, land value. Got a spare $500,000? Apparently that's what they cost. They're really expensive for an apartment.
Yeah, it's, you know,
That's tough.
I mean, I think if you move maybe 200 miles out of London, you could probably buy a house with that, if you're lucky.
Oh, 50 miles out of London to buy a house.
But then again,
You
It
want to live there?
might be cheaper outside of London, but
That's fine.
you see, they still get their service charges back by charging you extortionate prices to get into London. Anyway, so if you're not caught out in one way, you're caught out in another way. Oh,
We're now approaching Plaistow.
build up here.
You can get a 56 here.
Oh,
Where we used to struggle to get it to 45. That's 56 now.
We're now approaching Upton Park. The old West Ham Stadium used to be located here. It has now moved to Stratford International in the Olympic Park. We're now approaching East Ham.
Extra line service up there from Hammersmith Service Control. aside from the published line engineering works. The minor delays on the
Fulham platform now. See on the other side, that's your Fulham platform.
Train cancellations. Good service on all other lines.
Apparently that's where they used to go out to Southend. They used to run a train service from there, that old platform.
Wow.
And that's your extended platforms where we used to, the network rail used to stop on there on your right.
I see.
Many years ago. And I'll show you the fence where it collapsed up here as well.
Oh yes.
See all this cabling here on the left? They put it up on the wall.
Now if you look to your right, take the chance to admire the C2C depot.
All the way back up to here.
Oops.
They were very lucky. Very lucky. C2C service today then?
Sorry?
No C2C service today then?
Oh no. You know what? I do actually like this overpass. It's quite not
Under or over?
overpass, rather.
We're now approaching Barking, where our journey ends. You can change here for District Line services towards Upminster. Recently, the London Overground was extended to Barking Riverside. It now runs from Barking Riverside to Gospel Oak.
Thank you for watching this video.